they might call themselves the New Mutants, but there's nothing rookie about this squad. In Cosmic Crucible, they're about to make old metas look ancient. Today, Byron and I are going to dive in and discuss what is so special about the New Mutants. And make sure to stick around until the end for that sweet, sweet promo code. Now, let's jump in to the New Mutants. All right. Well, welcome back to Strike Spot, Byron. How are you doing today?
I'm doing really good, Pathfinder. Glad to be back.
Yeah, likewise. It's always nice to have you on the show here. Today, we're going to be talking about the New Mutants. And while they might be new to the game and have the moniker of New Mutants, they are going to be no slouches when it comes to what they can do in Cosmic Crucible. So I want to ask you first, who do you think is the most impactful new character on the New Mutant team?
Most impactful character would probably be the character Warlock. Silly little guy from space, but has a weird nanite body that he can transform into different things.
Yeah, and I gotta say, some of the animations are I guess, maybe the kookiest, wackiest animations that I've seen to date in this game, and it does not disappoint. So, looking forward to diving into Warlock here. So, what can you tell us about Warlock? What's he going to be providing for this team through his passive?
Through his passive, he has a powerful kind of starter ability where he prevents the enemy team from gaining defense up, and his allies can't gain certain debuffs such as stun, defense down, and expose, which is going to be really useful for dealing with a cursed.
And Warlock starts off with what ability? What can we expect him to do first?
So Warlock gets to start off with his ultimate, usually always a big power play. Got a really powerful ability where he gets to flip vulnerable, charge, and revive once into ability block. Obviously, we have a lot of characters that either start with those or gain those over the game. So being able to just essentially ability block an entire team that abuses those mechanics is really powerful. You would think the ultimate would be the most outlandish ability because he gets to turn into a giant space tank and bombard the enemy team. Credit to the art team, it looks spectacularly wacky and immensely powerful at the same time.
That's really, really unique, and
Yeah.
I could see that being used in a lot of places. So that's really cool.
Yeah. Well, that's only half of it. The other half is he on for himself and his New Mutant allies. He flips vulnerable, exposed, and darkness to immunity.
Wow. So providing quite a bit on his first turn, and I assume that he's going to be at least decently fast, right?
Yeah, he's a decently fast character. Again, he's not a slowpoke by any stretch of the imagination. But he will have some of the other characters on the team will go before him before he can open up with his powerful ultimate tank ability.
Very cool. Well, let's also talk a little bit about his other ability, his special ability. And again, I gotta say, I think he turns into a bomb on this one.
Yeah, a bomb, and then after he detonates himself as a bomb, he escapes as a helicopter. I mean, got some Inspector Gadget stuff going on there. I'm here for it. Yeah, so probably the big thing on him is this is another attack all, but this one applies silence. So silence is still a relatively new proc that we haven't used a lot, but Warlock is going to be able to apply to the entire enemy team on his special. So yeah, pretty powerful effect, but he won't get access to that until his second turn.
Okay, okay. So Warlock definitely gonna be a lot of utility and bring a lot of power to this team. But speaking of power, there are a couple reworks on this team, and I want to start by talking about Sunspot. So Besides, getting new stats, what kind of rework are we looking at specifically for Sunspot?
So Sunspot got a couple of touch-ups, but mostly he's going to be receiving a stat update as well as getting the new mutant tags. So anything where his previous team had a call out in his kit, now it's going to have a new mutant call out. Specifically in his kit, he had a lot of generic X-Men call outs. Those are all still there, and all of these characters count as X-Men. So anywhere in his kit that says X-Men, will also affect New Mutants.
Okay, very cool. So, still going to be putting out some pretty good damage. He still has that ability block on his special, so he's going to have some utility on this team. My next question here, we talked about how this is a Crucible team. Is this specific, offense, defense? Are they going to shine in both? What are we expecting from this team?
They should both shine in both offense and defense.
Okay, very cool. Well, let's talk about the next new character, and this is Wolfsbane. So, what can you tell us about Wolfsbane?
Yeah, so Wolfsbane first of all, Wolfsbane is one of my personal favorites.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
What
so
do you like
really,
the most? What do you like the most about her?
well, she was one of my favorite characters in the X Factor investigation series. In that story, that's the older version of her character. Although on New Mutants, this is the much younger version of Wolfsbane.
Mhm.
So, but yeah, really exciting to finally see Wolfsbane enter Marvel Strike Force.
Likewise. So, what can you tell us about what she'll be bringing to the table with her passive?
So Wolfsbane is our big damage dealer for New Mutants. She's a brawler. She gets to open up with her special, which is a nice piercing all attack, applying bleeds, heal blocks. She's got some anti-stealth tech on her special, and also she has a sneaky bonus attack against enemy supports, where she gets to prolong all procs on them, with the exception of ability block, stun, and trauma. But we've been seeing a lot of apply blind to support, so she's going to be extending those kinds of negative effects on supports.
Okay, very cool. And I know that at least one of her abilities has a way to remove Safeguard as well. Is that the special or the ult?
That is the special that is Crucible only, and that does require at least 3 new mutant allies to be available.
Okay, definitely will make a difference in certain matchups for sure. So be on the lookout for that. What about her ult? What does her ult do?
Her ult is more focused on dealing big damage, so even more piercing. Applying disrupted, heal block, speed bar reduction. She gets a bonus attack to the most injured enemy character. If she ends up killing anyone, she generates special ability energy for herself, so she can feed back into her high energy cost special. So she's definitely got a big win more mechanic there, and it can be particularly devastating because it prevents revives.
Okay, very cool. And with a lot of Crucible teams that have been coming out this year, there's been a lot of focus around stopping speed bar, stopping speed stats. So how is this team going to be able to kind of interact with that, or how are they going to combat that in their kits?
So Wolfsbane actually takes care of this herself on her passive. She's in Crucible with most of her new mutant allies. She prevents speed bar from being filled or reduced for essentially everybody. So she levels the playing field, as we like to call it.
Okay. Well, it sounds like Wolfsbane is going to be hitting pretty hard in Crucible, so be looking forward to doing a lot of damage with her. Hey, are you subscribed to Marvel Strike Force? If you're not, make sure to click that button below so you don't miss any of the latest news and updates. And while you're at it, if you're on Discord, come over to our official Marvel Strike Force Discord server and chat with your fellow commanders. We'd love to see you there. Now let's get back into the video. Now this next character that we're going to talk about has my favorite costume in the game right now, and that is Magik. So Byron, besides new stats for Magik, what are we going to be doing with with her?
So we decided to more lean into her actual support tag for Magic. So she has baseline healing baked into her kit now. So on her high ability cost special, she has a mighty heal. So it's definitely she's definitely better at providing recovery for herself and her allies. But her ultimate is more geared toward, if you have an ally that's redlining, she heals them and clears a bunch of negative effects from them. Other than that, most of her original kit is basically intact.
Very cool. There is one thing that I do want to point out just to set some expectations for Magic when she gets reworked, and that is specifically regarding her mechanics with Phoenix. So, do you want to explain a little bit of that as far as what we're going to be doing there?
Yes, so we've had to modify her interaction with Dark Phoenix because Phoenix is now on Phoenix Force, and Phoenix Force is going to be getting even more characters into the future. We wanted to concentrate Magic to be on her own team here with New Mutants. So because of that, the mechanics for her bringing back Dark Phoenix have been removed. A lot of this was just, yes, they're in the same lane. We just wanted to click. We really wanted it to be clear that Magic is for New Mutants and Phoenix is for Phoenix Force.
Well, let's dive into the last character, new character on this New Mutant team, and that is Cannonball. And I did not know a whole lot about Cannonball before, but as I was preparing, for this video, he looks pretty cool. So, what can you tell us about what he's going to be bringing to the team?
Yeah, so Cannonball is actually going to be the protector for New Mutants. Cannonball, it does have an on-spawn taunt. However, a lot of Crucible teams prevent protectors from gaining on-spawn taunt, but not to worry, he's been balanced with around that. So he'll still be protecting his team. And a lot of his protector abilities are just making sure that uh, the enemy team can't deal damage to his team. So we can probably start with the special since that's what he gets to open up with. It's an attack all, clear positive effects, apply offense down, but he's got a lot of in Crucible when he's got his team with him. He applies blind and trauma to all enemies. He applies ability block to mythic protectors. That's a very specific character. Applies stun to non-mythic protectors, and then he applies immunity to himself and all New Mutant allies. So that's really important for a lot of the matchups, specifically against a couple of tier 0 characters, so that you don't get run over with something like exhaust. But yeah, that's really important for his big opening. And even though he is a protector, he does get a little bump of extra focus on this ability because it's really important for him to land a lot of those blinds, ability blocks, and stuns.
Yeah, absolutely. And traditionally in Marvel Strike Force, protectors have been on the slower side in nature, right? They're more of your tank. They're more of your sit there, take a lot of damage, and then eventually come back and do an ability later. But Cannonball is a little bit different in that he's the first one to go on this team, which means that powerful special is really going to hurt as you open things up.
Yeah, he's not, again, like while he does have access to taunt, that's not really how he protects his team. He protects them by shutting down key characters on the first turn. So yes, he's very fast. He's actually a 129 speed, so he's definitely one of our faster protectors in Marvel Strike Force.
Yeah, and his ult being a turn 2 may not be as impactful as the turn 1 special, but what can you tell us about that?
So that is an area of effect. He gets to apply stun on his primary, which is actually something that's not entirely uncommon for a lot of protectors to be able to do. But he does get he gets a bunch of deflect. Cannonball really likes to lean into deflect. So for every deflect that he has, He gains 25% additional damage. He gains +1 offense. He applies +1 offense down up to a maximum of 3 to the primary and adjacent targets. And he does the same for slow. And then at the end, he gains more deflect. So when the reason why his ultimate is turn 2 is you really want to be able to stack a ton of deflects on Cannonball, and then his ultimate should hit really hard.
Okay. So Cannonball definitely a unorthodox protector, if you will, but he is protecting the team nonetheless. That's exciting. This new mutant team sounds really good in Crucible. So I know we've kind of hinted at some characters here with mythics and talking about a curse as well. What else do you think they're going to be used for in Crucible?
Well, they should be useful against pretty much almost everything. So if you're looking at a curse, if you're looking at star jammers, if you're looking at, Phoenix Force using Phoenix and Omega Red Phoenix, team comps like that. So they should also be really good against the modern Theorycraft teams that use Oath, Blade, Songbird, Shadow King, and then top two and the higher tier of Crucible. A lot of teams have been made with those characters, but New Mutants has been designed to dismantle them as well. Obviously, there might be some new theory craftable team that people put together that might give them some trouble, but from our research, we haven't really been able to find anything. But I never want to underestimate the MSF community.
Yeah, there are a lot of smart people out there that will come up with something for sure. So I know we'll all be excited to see some of the comps that they come up with. Well, I think that's gonna do it for our interview today, Byron. As always, I really appreciate you taking the time to not only talk with me, as it's always a new learning opportunity for me, but for the community as well. I know that they love being able to get a glimpse into how we're thinking about teams and getting some strategies. So thanks so much for being here today.
It's always an honor to come by and talk about MSF on Strike Spots, and I hope to see you and the rest of the community again soon.
Thanks so much for joining us today. Before we go, we have a gift for you. Head over to marvelstrikeforce.com/playergift and enter the promo code New Mutants Rise. You'll find that as a copy and pastable click in the description. So make sure you head over to marvelstrikeforce.com and redeem that promo code. We'll see you on the next episode of Strike Spot.